Okay, now it's my turn. Number one, the first thing is start reading the question with the reading of requirement. Calculate the NPV of buying the new machine and advise acceptability of the proposed purchase. Working nearest to 1,000. Okay, come on. DU company needs to increase production capacity. DU company needs to increase production capacity to meet increasing demand for an existing product, Qgo, which is used in food processing. Okay, so the company has a plan to increase the production capacity to meet the extra demand or increasing demand. The new machine with a useful life of 4 years, and a maximum output 600,000 Qgo per year. So new machine has a limit of the capacity of 600,000 kg per year. Could be bought 800,000 payable immediately. Okay. So that means the machine costs 800,000. His scrap value of the machine after 4 years would be sold for 30,000. Scrap value. That is 30,000. Forecast demand and production of Qgo over the next 4 years is as follows. This is what about the forecast demand. Forecast demand. Demand of the products of the business, whatever the business they are doing. The demand 1.4 million, 1,400,000 units or kgs, 1,500,000 kg, 1,600,000 kg, 1,700,000 kg. Existing production capacity of Qgo is limited to 1 million kilogram per year. That is very much important. Means right now, without considering the new machine, company having the existing capacity of 1 million kilogram. Means they are already doing this. So very important point in this particular scenario, the relevant kgs and the relevant units for this particular question is other than 1 million. Means if we are going to purchase this machine, how much we will be able to generate extra kilograms. At year 1, the extra will be 0.4 million, 400,000. At year 2, extra will be 0.5 million. That's the relevant. Year 3, extra will be 0.6 million. And what you will say, what will be the relevant units for year 4? Is this 0.7 or something else? Do reply me, please. The session must be interactive. Even you people are watching the video, you must have to reply. Communicate with me on the WhatsApp. If not able to understand, do reply me. So do reply me. If the machine capacity is 600,000 maximum and existing we are already producing 1 million kilogram. So 1 million, it's not relevant here. So how much extra we can generate with that particular machine? If the year 4 demand is 1.7 million, do reply me. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. At year 4, the company's relevant units must be 0.6 million. Although we have a demand of 0.7 of 1.7, but we cannot meet the demand of additional 0.7 with new machine because the capacity is maximum 600,000. So the relevant here is 0.7. 0.6, I'm sorry, 0.6. Now come on. The current selling price QGO is $8 per kilogram, and the variable cost of materials is $5 per unit per kilogram. This is what about the details. This is what about the details. The selling price is $8, variable cost $5 per kg. Okay, it's simple. So that means the contribution is here, sorry, 8 minus cost of material is $5. Other variable cost of product 1.9. Okay. Fixed cost production associated with the new machine will be 240,000 in the first year of production, increasing by 20,000 each year in the subsequent operations. Okay. So that is about the fixed cost. 240,000 first year, and each year increase 20,000. DU company pays tax 1 year arrears. Tax 1 year arrears. Annual of 30%. So here the relevant cash flow will be tax, but the tax here mentioned by the examiner 1 year arrears. How to handle that point, I will discuss this point. Can claim capital allowance tax allowable depreciation 25% reducing balance. And the balance allowance is claimed in the final of operation. This part of the question, it's absolutely new for you. And I will discuss in detail. Discount rate will be 10% and calculate the NPV. Now start the working NPV. Now start the working of the NPV. Let's start. Let's start. This is what about the question. DU company, the structure with the Excel, or you can attempt with the blank worksheet of the ACC platform. I am working with the Excel here. Now come on. First thing, right now ignoring the aspect of the text, and working other than text here. Come on. So first of all, this is the structure of the question. Here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The life of the project here, the life of the project is 4 years. Life here, 4 years. But I have mentioned the year 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as well. The reason of the 5 is that here examiner mentioned, and practically it's also possible, the taxes are paid 1 year delay. For example, whatever we will earn at 2021, the tax authority will come by 2022 to assess our income of 2021, to assess our income of the financial year 2021. And then we will pay the tax of 2021 by 2022. So delay 21 tax 22, 22 tax 23. So same case here. Year 1 tax will delay at year 2. Year 2 tax will delay by 3. Year 4, 3 tax delay by 4. Year 4 tax delay by year 5. That's why I mentioned 5 years. Project life is 4 years, but 5th year is about the reason of the tax calculation delayed by 1 year. I hope it's clear to you. Now, if you people any problem, you can ask me or you can ask me during the break time or in the end of the session. Number 1, we will mention the machine, the cost of the machine. What is the cost of the machine? Be interactive with me. What is the cost of the machine? Cost of the machine is 800,000. 800,000. Okay, here examiner particularly mentioned that you have to work out with the thousands figure. So here we are working with the NPV 1000. It's not compulsory you have to work out with the 1000, depends on you. That is the machine. Number two, residual value. Residual value. We will invest the machine now, and at the end of the project means for their life, the project having the scrap value of 30,000. Here I will mention 30,000. We will invest that outflow 800 and then inflow by the 30. Okay. After that, these are the cash flow, machine and residual value. What are the regular cash flows? Regular. For the regular, I will mention the first one, contribution. For contribution, I have mentioned working one. Come on here. Working one, the contribution. How to calculate contribution? Number one, the first thing is very simple. Sales price. Sales price. What is the sales price? Sales price $8. Then material cost. Then material cost. $5. And other variable cost 1.9. Minus 5. Other variable cost. So that means is equal to sum 1.1. That is contribution per unit. Contribution per unit. That is contribution per unit. And what are the relevant units? Another important point. What are the relevant units? You will mention the relevant kgs. At year 1, 2, 3, 4, you will mention. You will mention here the relevant kgs 400, 500, 600, and at Air Force 600 as well. Why? We have already discussed 600 because although the demand is about extra 700,000 units, more than 1 million, a part of 1 million, 700,000. But the capacity is only, the machine capacity only 600,000. We cannot meet the demand. If we are going to purchase the machine, we can only work out with 600,000. So contribution total is equal to 400 multiplied by 1.1. Once again, is equal to this, select 400, then press 1, multiply by 1.1. That's 440. Control C, Control V. Sorry. Is equal to 500 multiplied by 1.1 is equal to 600 multiplied by 1.1 is equal to 600 multiplied by 1.1. This is what about the contribution total. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. Any problem till now? Do reply me. Here I will mention the contribution per unit is equal to, select is equal to and put the value here. That is 440. Control C, Control V. First of all, do reply me, is there any problem till now? So the first thing is about the contribution with detail working. Next is fixed cost. Next is fixed cost. Now come on, what about the fixed cost? The fixed cost which is directly attributable. Here mentioned fixed cost associated with the new machine 240,000 first year. Associated means it's directly attributable. That means relevant. If we purchase the machine, we will incur that particular, we will bear that particular cost, 240,000. And this cost each year increased by 20,000 each year. So come on, first year that is about minus 240. Then minus 260, minus 280, and minus 300. For example, it's a rental cost. First year we will bear 240,000, next year 260, then 280, then 300. That's cost. That is the point. So that is what one structure we have established about the NPV. Now, with the today's session, we are incorporating the additional one, the tax matter. Tax. Now, students, clear, you have to focus, very important here, because this tax calculation almost affect 95% of the question, 97% of the question. Almost every question of the NPV having this calculation. So you have to understand that particular part of the tax very carefully. Now, so if we are going to purchase that particular machine, what will be the tax consequences? What will be the tax consequences? For the sake of easiness, we will split the tax implications into two parts. Number one, whatever the taxable income we will earn here, taxable income, we will consider this part first. And initially we will ignore the tax consequences of this machine and residual value. We will discuss second step, or I can say two-step working. So first I am working with the tax payments. But considering this contribution and fixed cost, means the taxable incomes. Ignoring machine and residual value, that is tax depreciation. Ignoring. Okay, now come on. Tax payments. If I say that other than machine and residual value, other than tax matter, how much taxable income we will earn at year one? So what you will say? Sir, at year one, we will earn 440 minus 240. That's 200, the taxable income. Okay. So we need to make payment of tax of with the 200 income, on the 200 income, at the tax rate of 30% with the time period of year two. Number one, the important thing, the tax rate is 30%. Here, tax rate 30%. Mention. Tax rate 30%. So what I will do with the tax payment is equal to is equal to number one minus, because it's a payment outflow, 30%, 30% sum multiply by sum bracket open with sum 40 minus 240. That's all. 60. Once again, what I did is equal to minus 30% multiply by sum. This one. 60. Don't worry, I will mention all the formulas here. Don't worry. You don't need to mention the exam formula, but for the sake of understanding or the revision purpose, I mentioned that particular formula here. Simple. 30% multiplied by sum, this one sum. And what I will do for the rest here, 3, 4, 5 is this. That's simple. Control C and Control V. Automatically, your spreadsheet in the examination or the Excel sheet will do the working same. Once again, sir, what you did? What you have done? This 60, what I've done, that is 440 minus 240 and multiply by 30%. Simple. Control C and Control V. Simple work. That's or Excel automatically work out with this 87. What is this 87? 550 minus 260 multiply by 30% with the negative one. At air 2, we put the value at air 3. At air 3, we put the value at air 4. At air 4, that air 5. Do remember that at air 4, right now we are ignoring the machine and residual value. Ignore. First of all, do reply me. Is that clear, all of you? Okay. The another part that is called now the another part. The another part is about this working. Now about this working. Match the color accordingly. Match the word accordingly. We have split the text working in two parts. It's deliberate. That action is deliberate for the sake of understanding. Okay. I am mentioning a term, tax savings from capital allowance. Tax saving from capital allowance. Now mentioning a very important thing here. The very important thing. Number one, concept. Establish a concept first. A term I'm using that is called tax depreciation. Or the terminology is same if I use the word capital allowance. Tax depreciation or capital allowance. Tax depreciation or capital allowance. Number one, we are here to discuss not the accounting depreciation. It's about the tax depreciation. The very first thing is that number one, tax depreciation is non-cash item. So it's irrelevant. No doubt about it. Even accounting depreciation or the tax depreciation, both are irrelevant. And we are not here to incorporate the tax depreciation in the NPV. Do remember that. Tax depreciation is a non-cash item. It's very absolute. Number two, second important point. Second important point. If tax depreciation is irrelevant, it's okay. But if I say that tax depreciation affecting to the taxable income, affecting to the taxable income, tax depreciation reduces or declining the part of taxable income. So if tax authority allow the depreciation of the machine, this means our taxable income will reduce. If our taxable income will reduce, which will result the saving of taxation. Saving of taxation. And this saving of taxation, it's deemed to be relevant benefit. And any relevant benefit considered as inflow with the working of NPV. This is the concept. This is the concept. This is the concept. What is the concept? Number one, tax depreciation is irrelevant. No doubt about it. No doubt. No question. But if tax authority allow the tax depreciation, allow the tax depreciation, that will result, that will affect to our taxable income as a reduction. Means our taxable income will reduce, and the implication is that if taxable income reduces, our tax will reduce, and this tax reduction or tax saving is relevant benefit and it's considered to be inflow. Do reply me. Whoever taking the live session, do reply me, or even you are watching the video, must have to reply me about the clarity of the concept. This is concept. How the mathematics work, I will tell you. How the mathematics work, I will tell you. Are you, is that concept clear to you? Do reply me. But the point is that how this benefit will calculate and incorporates with the NPV calculation. Let's take one example. For example, I'm saying that the tax depreciation amount, let's say a part of that question, amount is 100. This is not relevant. This is not relevant. And further, I'm saying that tax rate is 30%. So what is the concept? this tax 100, this 100 will be the part of taxable income, and that result, the reduction of the taxable income by 100, and by reduction of taxable income of 100, we will get the tax savings is equal to 100 multiplied by 30% is equal to 30. This 30 is equal to relevant benefit. Relevant benefit. And that is called inflow. That is the point. So first, we need to identify tax depreciation. The first thing. Then we calculate the tax saving. So this is two-step working. Tax depreciation and tax saving from tax depreciation. Do remember that the word tax depreciation and capital allowance, that's are interchangeable. Tax depreciation, capital allowance, both are interchangeable. That is the point. Both are interchangeable. Candidate, I need a single minute silent because I'm hearing a prayer voice over there. So I need a single minute silent. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. Okay, come on. Now, this is what particular concept here. And we are going to incorporate that particular concept. That's called tax savings from capital allowance. Tax, I will mention tax savings from CA, that is capital allowance. So this is what called the working number 2. This is what called the working number 2. Now come on. This is what called the working number 2. Now come on. One moment. Yes. That is working too. Come on. The first thing is that capital allowance. And second thing is that tax savings. Two-step working. Tax savings. Time period. That is 5 years. 5 years. Why 5 years? Do remember this fifth year is about delay. This fifth year is about delay. Actual capital allowance will be available year 1, 2, 3, 4. Tax savings will be available. Sorry. Tax depreciation will be available year 1, 2, 3, 4. But the saving impact on year 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, let's suppose. Oh, first of all, capital allowance. Do remember, capital allowance is not the cash item. The cash item will be tax savings. Okay, now incorporate capital allowance. Quickly. Quick. First of all, what examiner says here about the capital allowance? Read this one. Last para. DU company pays tax 1 year arrears at an annual rate 30%. Done. And can claim capital allowance, tax allowable depreciation, 25% reducing balance basis. 25% reducing balance. Capital allowance is 25% reducing. Now, very important concept. What is the value of machine 800? 800. Reducing balance method. How to calculate the reducing balance method? It's very, very simple. Is equal to 800 multiplied by 25%, 200. So the machine cost 800. Machine cost 800. Tax authorities allowed at year 1, 200. Allowed 200. Okay. And what about year 2? The year 2 calculations can be made with two possibilities. Number one, whatever you do with the accounting, reducing balance method, diminishing balance, like this, is equal to 800 minus 200 multiply by 800 minus 200 multiply by 0.25. One of the method is this 150. It's very simple, 800 minus 200 into 25%. But one of the shortcut method is this. If the reducing balance method percentage 25%, we can select like this, is equal to 200 multiply by 75%. The answer will be same. Once again, is equal to 200 multiply by 75%. 200 into 75%. If the reducing balance method 20%, you can apply with 80%. Means just select 200 multiply by 80%. If reducing balance method 30%, you can apply just last year capital allowance multiply by 70%. 40% reducing balance method, just take last year depreciation capital allowance multiply by 60%. Remaining 100. Same case, control C, control V. Done. So do remember, our project life 4 years. Project life 4 years. Project life is 4 years. But tax authority out of 800 at year 1 allowed as expense 200. At year 2 allowed as an expense 150. At Air 3 allowed as an expense 112.5, but the project is over there. Project over. At Air 4, project over. Now here project over means here we will calculate the balance figure, balance amount. Balance amount. What is the meaning of balance? Number one, machine. It's 800. Listen carefully. At Air 4, here is a communication between us and the tax authority. At Air 4, balance method. Balance. At Air 4, balance. Machine 800. We have a communication with the tax authority. The communication is that we are saying to the tax authority, the machine costs 800, but the CA capital allowance claimed at Air 123, that's 462.5. Claim 462.5. So it's a remaining balance, remaining 337.5. That is the written down value. Written down value remaining. So what the communication between us and tax authority? The communication is about that tax authority, we have purchased the machine of 800 and do allow 800 as expense. So at Air 4, tax authority will say that, okay, out of 800, we have already allowed, you have already claimed 462.5. The remaining is 337.5, but tax authority will say that out of 800, the 50, the residual value is not considered as expense. The 50, the residual value will not consider as expense. Sorry, the residual value is 30. Sorry, the 30, the residual value will not consider as expense. The 30, the residual value it's not considered as expense. So the balance remain to claim. The balance remain to claim is 307.5. So at Air 1, 200, at Air 2, 150, at Air 3, 112.5, and Air 4, the balance figure 307.5. Do reply me here, even you are watching the video. Is that clear to you? Is that clear to you? That's good. That's very nice. Do reply me one question. Can you reply me? Ideally, what is the total of this capital allowance? What should be the total of this capital allowance? Air 1 to Air 4. What should be the total? What should be the total of the capital allowance? Technically, the total must be equal to 800 minus 30. Very good. Very good, Iftikhar. 200 minus 30. That's equals to 5. That's equals to 770. Because the tax authority will maximum allow or provide us the benefit of the calculation other than the residual value. That's the point. Now, next point, the tax savings. Tax savings. So this capital allowance is not the cash flow. The cash flow is this. And the cash flow, that's called tax saving. It's 1 year delay is equal to 200 multiplied by 30%. 60. Means we will be able to get the tax advantage of 60 based on this capital allowance. And here one capital allowance tax saving impact with the timings of year 2. That's important. Control C and Control V. Simple. How to apply Control CV, sir? Because this function, whatever you apply here, 60, the Excel sheet will automatically generated for year 2, 3, 4, 5. This 45 is about 150. Mentioning K14 multiply by 30%. Same case here. So now we are incorporating. That is the K15 is equal to K15, Control C, Control V. That is a point. And now it's time for the net cash flows. You can calculate net cash flows is equal to sum Control C, Control V. That is a net cash flows. Discounted here given, and discounted here is 10%. 10%? Yes, 10%. 10%. That is 1. $0.909, 0.826, 0.751, 0.683, that is 0.621. And then present value, that is a present value is equal to 800 multiplied by this. And then NPV is equal to sum. And the NPV become 77. Sir, can we use a shortcut? Yes, definitely you can use a shortcut as well. The shortcut method to identify NPV. I've already told you with the earlier. That's NPV. Don't mention the term shortcut is equal to NPV bracket open 0.1 discounted comma. Then select your net cash flows, this one. And then close plus 877. So is this applicable? Yes, this is applicable. And marks will not detect, don't worry. Either it's your wish either to work out complete with this sweater and or directly with this point. It's totally your wish. So that is the point. Do reply me, is that clear, all of you? Do reply me, is that clear, all of you? That's great. That's very much clear. So thank you very much about this phase of the session. I hope that you people have got the concept. With this video, what we have done, a comprehensive question of the NPV, including the concept about something relevant cash flows. But the important thing with that particular question, with this session, it's about how to incorporate tax matter with the NPV calculation. That is the point. So thank you very much about this particular session.